Brighton's top-rated and only rated Action 8 News. Special Morning Edition starts now.
Good morning, I'm Lee Paxton.
And I'm Paxton Lee. Here's what's happening. The Brighton Economic Development Corporation says that 2016 was a great year for development in the Brighton community, and that momentum is only going to continue in 2017. With the potential for large manufacturing jobs, retail, and restaurants, business is booming in Brighton. The Prairie Center is just one example of this uptick in businesses, with various restaurants currently under construction and scheduled to open this year. Action 8 News reporter Amy Coffey spoke with Michael Martinez of the Brighton Economic Development Corporation about what the future holds for business in Brighton.
I hear 2016 was a great year for economic development in Brighton. Talk to me about what's in store for 2017.
Thank you for asking. 2016 was an excellent year for economic development in Brighton, and we look to build upon the momentum that we gained in 2016. Behind us, you'll notice some of the construction happening at Prairie Center, and we're excited to have 3 new restaurants popping up here, potentially a 4th restaurant. We are looking at various parts of town for some larger developments too. We're also attracting some of the larger manufacturing and primary jobs to Brighton, which is exciting for all of us. 2017 also is a good opportunity for us to strengthen some partnerships that we have internally and look at how we as a community can build a better business environment.
Talk to me a little bit about your philosophy in looking for new businesses to come to Brighton.
Brighton has a unique story, so we want to make sure that we're able to tell the right story about Brighton to prospective businesses, but also we want to make sure that businesses also fit inside that story. Brighton, with its rich history and culture, has a lot to offer for a lot of different industries, and when we're looking at prospective businesses, we want to make sure that those businesses fit within the culture of Brighton and that they're as good for our residents as they should be, because our residents really deserve the best.
Well, how active are you in pursuing new businesses for Brighton?
Extremely active. We take a multifaceted approach, again, looking at different industries. Retail is one of the larger industries that we're actively pursuing because giving the right amenities to our residents is something that we value and we know that is important. We also are heavily focused on jobs and job producers, again, specifically with potential manufacturing opportunities and primary employers. Those who provide good quality employment opportunities to our residents is really what we're after, making sure, again, that they fit within the culture of Brighton. Directly behind you, you'll see construction happening really all the way around us. Red Robin will be right here. We also have Old Chicago, which is starting construction. There'll be an Arby's a little bit down the street there. In front of you will be Ulta Cosmetics, which I'm sure you're happy about. We have a future steak place that may potentially be moving in this year down the street. And we also have the Sun that is directly right there, that's in your eyes.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Amy, for that report. Martinez said that the Brighton EDC is actively pursuing retail and other businesses that bring quality employment opportunities that fit within the Brighton culture.
We've just received some breaking news. Brighton will be breaking ground on a number of new businesses, including a new Arby's, Red Robin, Old Chicago, and Ulta Cosmetics at the Prairie Center, as well as the recently opened Dickey's Barbecue, the redevelopment of the Buddhist Church, a remodel of the AMC Theater at the Pavilions, and the Fairfield Inn.
Wow, that is breaking news.
The Community Development Department has been busy. After updating its comprehensive master plan last year, this innovative team have put their heads together to see how they can improve, modernize, and simplify the Land Use and Development Code. Let's bounce over to Action 8 News reporter Josh Tetzloff to hear how the department plans to make 2017 another successful year.
Thanks, Caitlin. Josh Tetzloff here with Andrew Baker, and we are with the Community Development Department. Right now, we are here at the permit counter where the front lines of all development take place. At this counter, we deal with people not only who are homeowners and small business owners, but also with large developers coming into the city. Coming into 2017, we are looking at making our whole process from the beginning to end much more modern and simple for all to use. Andrew Baker, what sort of things will we be doing? The Land Use and Development Code is a very big and very confusing document that you might not even know exists. However, it controls everything from zoning regulations to design standards and really regulates what kind of city we grow into. So, curtailing off of our success with the comprehensive plan update last year, we will be updating the Land Use and Development Code in order for property owners, business owners, and developers in the city of Brighton to use and work with our department. Not only will we be updating the codes and regulations that make development within the city easier, we've also recently updated processes within the city and will be updating more processes to make following these codes even easier. Recently, we adopted an electronic plan review so that all files can be submitted digitally instead of having to submit paper copies, which will save not only the city time, it'll also save developers, homeowners, and many others time and money from not having to produce that much paper. In the coming years, we'll also be creating interactive development maps. These sort of maps will help citizens and developers not only be able to obtain their information, but they'll be able to obtain it faster without having to go through the traditional channels of coming in to talk to us face to face. Back to you, Caitlin. Oh, and don't worry, we will also be updating this plant here behind us as well.
Thank you, Josh, for that report. It sounds like our viewers have a lot to look forward to from the Community Development Department, especially that new plant.
Corn mazes, pumpkin picking, and farm-to-table dinners in Brighton? A historical farm in Brighton will be transformed into an agritourism destination in 2017, city officials say. Bramley Kwezuma Hishinuma, a registered National Historic Site in Brighton, was purchased by the city in 2006. In an effort to not only preserve farmland, but the long history of the site, over the last 10 years, the city, with the assistance of grant funding, has rehabilitated the site and is now ready to work with a local farmer to open it up to the public. Action 8 News reporter Kyle Sylvester tells us just what's in store for this historical site.
Well, hello, I'm Kyle Sylvester. I'm the Open Space Manager for the City of Brighton, and I'm with Gary Wardle, our Park Director. And Gary, can you tell us a little bit about the Bramley Farm and how it came to be?
Hello, Kyle. Yes, the Bramley Kwezuma Hishinuma Farm was purchased by the City of Brighton in 2006. It was identified as a National Historic Site based on criteria that Emmett Bramley, the owner of the property, was in the state legislature and was known as the father of Adams County. He actually sponsored legislation to create Adams County. He was a significant farmer in the area, rancher, horse owner, and that was his background. We then had two other owners of the property, the Robertson family, and they were local farmers in the area, and then the Kwezuma Hishinuma family purchased it in 1947, and they were significant. They were in the war, fought in the Japanese regiment, and they farmed the property for many years after that, until 2006. At that point, the city began the process of rehabilitating all of the buildings on the farm. We used state historic fund grants and Adams County grants and city funding to restore the 5 buildings. It took 10 years because of the state historic fund grants. Took quite a bit of time to secure in $200,000 increments. And over the past 10 years, we've been doing the restoration. Now we're ready to actually begin operation of the farm.
Okay, great. Can you tell us a little bit about the activities that the public can look forward to participating in the future?
The city is contracted with a local farmer to operate the farm beginning in 2017. We will have bee extraction or honey extraction opportunities on site for people to come in and see how bees work and how they extract honey. We will also have a corn maze. We're planning on some farm-to-table dinners. We'll have an apple orchard. We'll have some other farming activities, produce being grown, a pumpkin patch for people to actually come out and pick pumpkins. We're hoping to have a berry pick area where people can come and pick strawberries and raspberries. And then in the farm, we'll have a fall festival where people can come in and participate in a corn maze and do other purchase of produce and other farming activities.
Well, thanks, Gary. We certainly look forward to working with the Lazy Bee Ranch in the future here this summer and moving forward with this great farm and all the work they put into it. It really looks good, and I'm sure the public's going to be really excited.
In addition to all the fun family activities planned for the farm, the city says the farm will be a center point for agritourism in Adams County, supporting City Council's goal of preserving farmland while educating adults and children alike. We'll be right back.
The Action 8 News Team with Paxton Lee, Lee Paxton, Flip Donahue, and Crash Slicker. Dedicated professionals. Cutting-edge news reporting. Action 8 News, bringing you stories you generally want to see.
We're not quite done with elections.
What?
The city clerk's office will be working on the November election in 2017. The City of Brighton elections are conducted every 2 years in odd-numbered years on the first Tuesday in November. The mayor's seat will be open as well as one in each of the 4 wards. Mayor and council members are elected to 4-year terms, and if you're interested in becoming a candidate or have questions about the election, please contact the city clerk's office. Applications will be accepted starting in August. Come spring, Brighton residents can expect to have a popular community attraction back and better than ever. In 2014, Cell 1 of the Ken Mitchell Park, Fishing Pier, and Boardwalk was drained for a variety of repairs. With projects wrapping up, Cell 1 will be filled and once again become a destination for all park enthusiasts. Now let's see what Action 8's Bird Eye View can spy from the sky.
Action 8 in the sky, do you copy? Action 8, Action 8, do you copy? Hey there everybody, this is Kurt Bowers, the reporter with Bird Powers, covering all the news that's fit for the air. I got Roy Galley here. He's a first-time flyer, but he's pretty in tune with what's going on at this Ken Mitchell Cell 1 property. Can you fill me in what I'm looking at?
That would be the riprap. It's a large boulder that will stop erosion from wind and wave action. We'll keep the reservoir in its current shape, and hopefully when we fill it, we won't have to drain it again.
So water will go in and out of that from that reservoir to the river?
Correct. We'll be filling from the west side and potentially the east side, keeping it full, hopefully draining it during the year and refilling it at each spring.
So you're going to fill it with water this next spring. Do our listeners get to play there, participate in it? Do they get to fish?
Yeah, we'll open the park to fishing at the fishing pier on the east, and hopefully once it becomes a regional park, they'll be fishing around the perimeter of it.
Whoa, hold on, we got some turbulence coming. Bird in the Air signing off. Back to you.
In addition to having beautiful water and mountain views, this area will be a hot spot for fishing and taking the family for a picnic. Sounds like a catch to me.
When ribbon cutting became a lost art, he brought it back with a vengeance, and with bigger scissors. To get on the agenda, you'll have to arm wrestle him. He once held a meeting until it cried. He's the most informed man in the world.
I don't always watch city council meetings, but when I do, I prefer them live every first and third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. on KBRI Channel 8. Stay informed, my friends.
And we'll now be joined by Crash Slicker with Warts. That's weather and sports put together. It's a budget thing.
Well, as you know, I covered last night's big game, both as a weatherman and a sportscaster.
Warts, right. How did it go?
I witnessed a rare cloud formation over a wishbone formation, in addition to 73 degrees followed by a 73-yard run, a blizzard, a blitz, dew point, extra point, barometric pressure, pressure on the quarterback, long snap, cold snap, Hail Mary, and a loss that resulted in abject humility and absolute humidity.
Great. Do you have a real report for us?
Yes, when you're driving around Brighton, you may not give much thought to how easy it is to get from point A to point B. Lane striping, curb cuts, shoulders, medians. But if you're riding a bike around town, these and so many other considerations take on a special meaning. Protecting the safety of those who ride bikes for pleasure or to get to work, Going Green travelers can always rely on the City of Brighton Streets Department and their streets engineer, Christopher Montoya. Our very own Karen Borkowski-Serene caught up with Chris, our very own man, nearly in the street.
Hi there, Karen with the City of Brighton, and today I'm speaking to Christopher Montoya. He's our streets engineer, and we're going to talk about bike-friendly Brighton, Colorado. How bike friendly do you think Brighton is?
It's relatively friendly. We're working right now to develop more bike lanes on the southern corridor. We've also previously established bike lanes on the 4th Avenue corridor from Bridge to Bramley Street. And we're also looking at developing other bike network connectivity. Right now, the Parks and Recreation Department also has 27 miles of bike lanes throughout the city.
Christopher, the City of Brighton adopted a master transportation plan. Can you tell us how that ties in with bike routes?
Overall, the master transportation plan has identified bicycle networks. It's to create greater connectivity throughout the city. You can find any of these maps and information on the City of Brighton's website.
So, Christopher, why do you think it's important to have bike routes in our city streets?
Well, research has found that it's better for health. We have found that the City of Brighton citizens do want bike lanes integrated into the community, and it's a connectivity issue for all of the master transportation plan. Well, overall, it is a big priority to us in our Streets and Fleet and our Parks and Recreation Department. And overall, I mean, biking, it's fun. Even I like to bike sometimes. I'm sure you'd say the same, and there's a lot of people that would enjoy riding their bikes in the City of Brighton.
More from bike-friendly Brighton, Colorado.
If you'd like to join other cycling enthusiasts, the Brighton Committee has organized a number of rides this spring and summer. You can check dates and locations on the city's website.
Are you looking for a community where you can live, work, and play? The search is over, according to Assistant City Manager of Development Marv Falkenberg, who tells us that Brighton is working to be the leader of sustainable living. Many of our viewers have expressed concern about affordable and sustainable housing within the city. While its true housing costs are on the rise across the country, Brighton staff are doing what they can to increase its affordable and energy-saving residential options. Action 8 News reporter Ryan Johnson is reporting live from the 6th floor of Brighton City Hall.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Johnson. I'm the Assistant Director of Urban Renewal and Downtown for the City of Brighton, and I'm here today with Marv Falkenberg, the Assistant City Manager for Development for the City of Brighton. We're sitting on top of the 6th floor of City Hall in front of Carmichael Park on this beautiful drizzly day in late January, and we're here talking about sustainable living in the City of Brighton and what does that mean to us. And so with that, Marv, what's your idea of sustainable living?
Ryan, I love living in this town, and I love talking about sustainability. Sustainability is where you can live, work, and play in the community that you live in, and that you have a variety of housing types, you have opportunities for jobs, and you're fiscally sustainable in that you can afford to live there, you can find a job there, and you really have housing that focuses on saving energy.
It's exciting to hear and see all the growth happening in Brighton, and certainly seems like with the whole idea of sustainable living, it's going to attract families to the area over time. What are some examples of some of the projects that are either recently completed or in the pipeline that exemplify sustainable living in your mind?
We have several exciting projects that highlight sustainable living, including downtown the Cannery Lofts, which incorporates reuse of a historic building, turning that into a commercial establishment, and the addition of 2 stories of structured parking and 99 market rate lofts. That should encourage some millennials to move to town. Another project downtown is for senior affordable project at the Waterworks, which is the historic Brighton City Hall dating back to the 1800s. This project will highlight the reuse of the existing building and provide many livable units for seniors that are affordable. Another project out at Prairie Center is the Element Apartments, currently under construction. This is 288 new apartments that are cutting-edge sustainable with geothermal, solar, and wind incorporated. That will provide great energy savings for the residents and have great views of the mountains. An adaptive reuse of the Buddhist church in downtown Brighton is another exciting project that's been recently renovated and will soon house another business.
Well, thank you, Marv, for sharing your thoughts on sustainable living. And from the 6th floor of City Hall, Marvin Ryan, keeping it green.
It certainly seems our viewers can look forward to living for less.
Many of our viewers might remember being in the 5th grade and participating in the DARE program, Drug Abuse Resistance Education. While DARE is still in place across the country, Brighton police are taking a different approach with 5th graders and replacing DARE with Be Right On. Action 8 News reporter Brenda O'Connor tells us why Brighton police made this switch and how they think the new program will better benefit children.
Welcome, Detective Acker. How are you today?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. We are here to talk about the new Be Right On program, which is replacing the DARE program. So can you give us a little bit of information on that?
So why start a new program? The DARE program has been good over the years, but we found that the kids are facing new challenges. So we wanted to present them with material that was more current and that gave them information on things such as avoiding crime with social media and how to avoid online predators, things like that. Also to get back to information about drug addiction and things like that. DARE was actually starting to kind of drift away from that. So we wanted to give the kids skills that would help them to stay safe and make good decisions.
Why is it important to teach this specific grade curriculum?
Any grade would be great in order to get in front of. We like to talk to 5th graders because they're at that age where they're just becoming old enough to understand the topics of the serious issues that they're going to be facing soon. But they're also young enough to be curious and to actually listen. They're not quite to that older teenage stage yet.
What do you hope to achieve with this new program?
Well, the main goal is to continue on with the close partnership with the community in order to allow kids to get to know officers on a personal level, and at the same time deliver, like I said, that current information to help the kids make just good choices in order to be safe.
So at this point we have an empty classroom, but come spring we will have a classroom full of 5th graders ready to start with the Be Right On program.
Officials say that Be Right On is made possible through funding from the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. This program provides a link between the department patrol officers and the 5th grade children in the community. In Brighton, the program is expected to be delivered to 650 5th graders. Now, our overly entertaining entertainment reporter Flip Donahue is with us. Flip, what events await us?
Thank you, Paxton. Tell me, what's more entertaining than a well-planned, family-friendly event? Nothing! Let's go to the chart. For starters, we have the State of the City address, given by Mayor Dick McLean, which I understand is coming up very soon. Before summer even starts, we have events like Youth Image Summit, Extravaganza, Speak Week, Trash Bash, Chemical Roundup, an adult and teen bike ride, the opening of the Brighton Oasis Aquatic Park, Help for Homes, and Memorial Day celebration at Elmwood Cemetery.
That's a great lineup for the year.
Actually, that's only through May. In June, the highly anticipated Summerfest will be in a new location at Carmichael Park, right behind our Action 8 News studio at City Hall. Also, the second year of Flicks and Kicks begins its schedule of movies and concerts in Carmichael Park, but will move around throughout the summer to other parks in town. July starts with a bang as Brighton celebrates the 4th of July with concert and fireworks, again at the popular Carmichael Park. The Oasis will host special events for teens, adults, and dogs. The summer winds down with new classes at Eagleview Adult Center and the annual City Barbecue. Don't forget Art in the Park.
Carmichael Park?
You bet. Fall brings another round of Trash Bash, Historic Walk at Elmwood Cemetery, and the Carnapalooza Trunk or Treat at the Brighton Rec Center. A Historic Preservation Commission Friend-Raiser evening of dining and dancing, rounding up this year with the 33rd Annual Turkey Trot and 22nd Annual Festival of Lights Parade.
It doesn't sound like you left anything out.
Well, if I did, you can find an event list on the city's website.
You know what this special morning edition of Action 8 News has taught me? Is that Brighton is a great place to live, work, and play.
And learn.
And eat.
And bake.
And shop.
And dance.
And explore.
And paint.
Warts.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great rest of your day.
Happy
Fifth
birthday.
evac.